Welcome to the Just Being Frank Show, the realest sports talk show on YouTube, giving fans a real-life perspective on sports and entertainment.
You knew better, you do better, who do it better?
2 letters. Yeah, top of the morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you at. It's the puppy also do the most. Welcome to Just Being Frank Show. We about to get into some CBA, $700 million. If they sign this CBA deal and give them this revenue share of 30% or some shit that they asking for, which is nuts, right? Make sure we hit the like button. We subscribe to the channel. I also have Yahoo Sports. Shout out to the ladies that's at Yahoo Sports talking about the Wnba. I don't know their names yet, but they do a good job. They finally, somebody, brought up the conflict interest with Nafessa Collier and Breonna Stewart, unrivaled, Wnba. So I'm going to bring that up too. I'm going to react to that. That's going to be a real good one, so you're not going to want to miss that. Also, Nafessa Collier out 4 to 6 months. Ain't that weird? Wasn't she set to play? Didn't she say she was going to play in Unrivaled, that she didn't need surgery, I believe? I believe she did. I believe she did. And then all of a sudden, you about to go get surgery on both ankles? Hope you get well. Hope you get well. It seems like you just about to reap the benefits. You don't want to play in this. You know it's some bullshit. Even the Nafessa, you know it's some bullshit, huh? You're like, I'm not finna. There ain't no spark. Nobody talking about us, right? Nafessa like, I ain't finna play in this shit. I'm going to get surgery. I'm going to get surgery. I'm going to just make the money. And my husband is generating from this, whatever he generates from this bullshit league. And also Nafessa Collier, because I think they both get 2 separate checks. Imagine that. Shout out to everybody in the chat so far. Comment. Let's go up. We got Marvin in the building. He says, the Pope is in the house. Everybody doing good. And Happy New Year's to y'all too, man, as well. Andrew said, what's good, Pope? These players tripping, man. They want players like Katie Lou to make $1 million a season. Really delusional. Shout out to you. Smoke say Happy New Year's to everyone. Burrow, my guy, he says, crazy, I just got the fee notification. Ebo. Right. So yeah, that's nuts. She said, I'm cool on playing. I'm gonna just get paid off you heifers playing because she on her boss babe status. Right? She on her boss babe status. But it just came out. I guess the WNBA, the owners, they just came out and said, listen, we $700 million. We'll end up losing if we give you this deal. I want that to let you know. $700 million. We'll end up losing more money than we have the entire time the WNBA has been around. How that's that? Where they do that at? That's crazy work. Shout out to AB in the building. Shout out to you. Happy New Year, Pope and chat. Dude says, which will never happen. So yeah, again, the conflict of interest, I believe the WNBA, the NBA owners created this conflict of interest. They created Unrivaled. They had the people invested in Unrivaled so they can get away from this league. And this is the reason why. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. It's like, y'all really think these owners want to keep this league afloat when all they do is lose millions and millions of dollars? And now because one player in our Caitlin Clark has come and brought a spark that they've never seen spark, all you hear is this, we deserve this, pay us what you owe us, and all of this type of shit. Meanwhile, the numbers say opposite. And the WNBA, the NBA owners, they have the real numbers and they understand these numbers. So it's Caitlin Clark games, TV, everything, merch, everything. But y'all still are well behind. Don't y'all want to deserve what, like really? Don't you want to earn it? Y'all should be trying to figure out, okay, we have eyes on us now. Since Caitlin Clark's come around, there's eyes on us now. Now, how we are portrayed or perceived through the lenses of those people that just came, all these millions of people that just showed up and started watching, how we come off is going to be pivotal, vital for your growth off the court, for your money. Y'all just seem not to get this. And that's crazy. It's like, who raised you? Who's your parents? Somebody ain't told you, your parents ain't told you, look, you need to be saying kind things about Caitlin Clark. When they ask you Caitlin Clark questions or growth of the WNBA, you need to give it all to Clark. Because first, it's the truth. It ain't like you giving her something that she ain't deserving, and it's the truth. So just speak the fucking truth. If you speak the truth, I'm telling you, all them fans that love her, they're going to end up loving you, especially if you could play a little bit. If you could play a little bit and you say good things like a Sophie Cunningham. We loved Sophie before Sophie got to the Indiana Fever. Why? Because of what she said in her interview while she was at Phoenix Mercury, calling Caitlin Clark a gem when she met her. Oh, she's a gem. Oh, I love her. Oh, she did all of this. And people immediately, we like that. We like her. Yeah, get her to Indiana. And she came to Indiana. But it's like the NBA, the WNBA owners, they said, we don't want to invest all this money, continue forking out all this money to y'all, and we keep losing because we just witnessed Caitlin get injured. And the ratings went down. Even Fevers went down a little bit, but they stayed afloat. They kept relevancy. But the rest of y'all, you have to look at your numbers. Go look at your numbers. Each one, go look in the fucking mirror. Say, hey, is my jersey selling out? No. Well, what do I need to do better? Go get some counseling. You bitches need therapy and counseling and whatever else. Go look in the mirror, ask yourself, am I selling out? People, listen, Sabrina Ionescu. We respect Sabrina. She has not muddied up none of the waters. We rock with Sabrina. Guess what? Since Caitlin Clark been in the league, go look at Sabrina, what her shoes doing. Her shoes is doing good. Matter of fact, let's go see. Probably Asia got it. Let's go see. Whose shoes sell more? Is it Sabrina Ionescu or Asia Wilson?
Sabrina Ionescu's signature shoe, the Sabrina 1, likely sells more than Asia Wilson's A1. Ionescu's shoe is popular in the NBA, indicating high sales.
Hello. You see that, ladies? Sabrina Ionescu go about her business smoothly, and she don't even big up Caitlin Clark. She just don't muddy up the. If she was to actually big up Clark, her brand would even be bigger. If she was to be like, hey, I'm glad Caitlin Clark here. You know, she bringing all the eyes. More people get to see us play and do what we love to do, and so on and so forth. I love the eyes that Caitlin Clark brings. I love the Caitlin Clark fans. I love to see it. One day, maybe I have that type of fan base because now they get to see me working. If she says something like that, her brand would even be bigger. But then she just minds her business and hoops, and she don't muddy up no water. She seemed to get along with Caitlyn. Sabrina Ionescu, and listen, one thing about Sabrina is she started at least her name got known from the three-point contest. She did the three-point contest with Curry, and she lived up to being a sharpshooter in that contest. She didn't look crazy. She didn't miss a bunch of shots. She hit a bunch of shots. And so that made me be like, oh, okay. And then she's a Kobe girl. Yeah, Kobe rocked with her. Gigi, God rest her soul, loved Sabrina Ionescu. So she had Kobe ties. Kobe fan and all, and the way she bigs up Kobe. Yeah, AB. So, see, Sabrina going about her business smart. You see, so y'all might need to look at Sabrina. If you don't want to look at Kate, because you're not reaching Caitlyn. You're not reaching those type of. But look at, okay, so who else besides Caitlyn got their brand and going about things the right way? Their brand is doing good off the court. It's Sabrina Ionescu. Ties with Kobe. All that good stuff. So I'm just saying, man. But the conflict of interest it's been crazy. Poe, how WNBA lose $700 million? They have not gained that profit in 30 years. No, they will end up losing. Come on, follow along. If maybe the title to you all, WNBA set to lose $700 million if. You see the if? You got to read. Reading is fundamental. 700 if new CBA gets signed. Because they saying, look, now we paying all this money, right? We quadrupled the salaries. And if Caitlyn get pregnant and married and say I'm done with basketball, now we stuck with having to pay all of y'all all that money. And ain't nobody gonna watch. Nobody gonna watch. So we end up losing way more than we have ever before. If Caitlyn happens to get injured again and she's out for, we're going to end up losing. And even if Caitlyn is on and she's playing healthy, rocking and rolling, few other players don't move no needles. You're not demanding us to move to an NBA arena without a Caitlin Clark game. If it's not a Caitlin Clark game, you don't bring the demand of making money. And that should be simple mathematics to these ladies. They should be able to, you got to be able to face the reality of the situation. The numbers are there. You see y'all empty ass arenas every time you play. Stop playing. You see the price of the tickets. Y'all know the price of how much it costs to get in your games. Stop playing. How's somebody supposed to pay you? That's like going to get a job somewhere. They barely hanging on, right? But you think because you a loyal employee or some shit, they supposed to just boost your motherfucking. How they supposed to pay you? You ain't made no money. Make some money. That's what y'all should be focused on. You have the crowd now. Even if it's only when Caitlyn come around, you have a crowd. And if you show up and show out, and then you go about things the correct way, after that, after you show up on the court, stop all the talking, do the talking and the walking on the court, let your game do the talking. If you do a little shit talking, that's fine, that's beautiful. But somebody else it has to be more than just Caitlyn. They thought Angel, that's why they tried to push Angel against Caitlyn. Because listen, and to me it's smart, but it didn't work. They tried that rookie year, they tried to pin them together and try to act like Angel was, so people can tune in to Angel's games. Hopefully they can come watch Angel's games since she's in a big city like Chicago. And nobody showed up. Angel, they thought maybe Angel, as much as engagement as she gets online, as many as followers as she has online, that they would show up to her games. They didn't. They're like, fuck. We thought she not moving no arenas to the United. She not moving no games to the United Center. Angel ain't moving no games to the United Center. In her own town, let alone a different place. She not moving the game in her home state, let alone in a different state. Angel Wilson can't get out of what is she in? The Mandalay Bay? She can't get out the 12,000 seated Mandalay Bay. How many is T-Mobile? Is T-Mobile? What is T-Mobile? How many seated arena is the T-Mobile Arena?
The T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas has a flexible seating capacity. It can hold up to 20,000 people for concerts and around 17,500 for hockey games.
Oh. You can't get a game to the T-Mobile Asia? That's what y'all have to look at. I can't get a game moved to the when no Caitlin Clark. You have to be, if you could do that, if the demand of tickets, that'd be $5. Tickets be $5. Tickets cost as much as a fucking large fries and a McDouble. And you can't move though, so you don't come in my office talking about you. I owe you something. You owe me. Can you get me what you owe me? Can you move the game to a respectable arena? We selling them at $5 a pop already. Can you at least fill the arena? One time out of a season of 40 games, one time. And you do it once without Caitlin. No, you just won't pay us what you owe us. Motherfucker, see the nerve. Somebody done taught y'all wrong. Hey, how you feel we owe you and you ain't made nothing? That's like you want to get dope on consignment from the plug. The plug he give you on consignment. You come back to the plug like you owe me some money, man. Look, I need some more drugs. And how the fuck I owe you money, nigga? How you gonna come back? I done gave you 10 pounds, right? Of that old whiskey, right? I done blessed you with 50 pounds, and you come back talking about you broke and you need money. I owe you. You need more pounds. You trying to negotiate more pounds. You want I need 100 pounds. The 50 ain't gonna work. I need 100 pounds. I need you to pay for my house, right? I need you to pay for my rentals. Yeah, I need the rentals. I need you to pay the OG homies. I need you to pay the OG homies from back in the day who was on the block getting it. You feel me? I need you to pay them, right? Yeah. I need some more money. We need, nigga, what? Lay you down right there for just being a clown. That's Clown shit. That's what y'all doing. That's what you doing. That's why I'm like, you ain't got no parents. You ain't got no parents. I mean, I don't understand y'all grown, but you got parents? Somebody ain't told y'all you a clown? If you turn that down, you a clown. Simple. Nobody in your family told you y'all idiots. Come on, man. It's hard to believe, but it's crazy. You can go to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Super chat is open, ladies and gentlemen. It's the new year, 2026. We in here. We are in the building. Smoke, Tiona, shout out to you. Let that crackhead New Jack City. Like that crackhead New Jack City. Right. You understand me? All right, let's bring up these two fine young ladies right here. Okay. And they're going to talk about a conflict of interest. Could it be in the CBA negotiations with Bree Stu, Nafessa Collier, Unrivaled? They even mentioned Kelsey Plum. But they do dodge around. They dance around calling it for what it really is. And I guess, but it's funny because me and Pete, we was having this argument back and forth to saying we had a strong argument. If some of y'all was here, thumb up me. When me and Pete was going back, and I was saying, if a reporter asks, is there a conflict of interest, or bring up that question, why haven't they, first of all? And Pete was, because they get called racist. I'm like, nah, I think they're being controlled. And that's it, because it's a clear conflict of interest. So there's no way you could claim racism or some shit like that. Anybody who, even the people who on the player side, right? The old guard fans, or whatever you want to call them, the so-called, we've been fans of the WNBA forever. Okay. Those people, it's like, yo, somebody need to call this out, because it's a clear case of conflict of interest. Let's get into this.
Positive way. And there's a pretty clear kind of juxtaposition there of the two leagues that we've just talked about. Unrivaled, it's growing. You've got, big name stars, people that are going to be commanding attention for Unrivaled, versus our discussions about the WNBA CBA of, what could happen if this isn't resolved. So I think there's been some very clear and obvious question marks, or maybe alarm bells that have gone off. Nafessa Collier and Breanna Stewart, the brain trust of Unrivaled, are also faces of the WNBA.
Some alarm bell, right? Yeah, these are two educated young ladies, it looks like, right? Possibly. They probably educated. Hello, it's alarming.
There might be conclusions drawn that Unrivaled, as it gains popularity, might have a clear conflict of interest as we enter this new era.
Hey, what you say? Did you say clear? Did you say clear conflict of interest?
That Unrivaled, as it gains popularity, might have a clear conflict of interest as we enter this new era.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
Of the WNBA. What do you make of the idea of the conflict of interest between Nafessa Collier and Breanna Stewart, and the interest of Unrivaled may not necessarily aligning with the interest of the W?
Imagine being able to build an app with.
Well, let watch how she dance. Watch her dance.
They're not only WNBA players, they are on the executive committee. So as is Kelsey Plum, she's playing in Unrivaled.
Breanna Stewart, in the interest of Unrivaled, may not necessarily aligning with the interest of the W.
Well, Fee and Stewie are not only WNBA players, they are on the executive committee. So as is Kelsey Plum, she's playing in Unrivaled. 3 of the 7 people on that board who can now vote for a strike are part of Unrivaled. That is
boom. I like that. Okay, so she got Frank with us right there. I like how they're not just only players. They're not just hoopers in the league. First of all, they really, they was the faces of the league before Caitlin got there, along with Asia Wilson. So they're not, and they on the committee. And not just them two, Kelsey Plum too, on the committee, 3 out of the 7. Way to call that out. Now she's about to start dancing. She's about to start doing the snake. Y'all remember the snake? Hey, I'm off. Don't worry about it.
Not necessarily a bad thing. I think the thing about conflict of interest, though.
Whoa, see how she just talked in circles? She just named how that was terrible. Let's go back. 2 bars back. She just named how they're not just only players. They on a committee. All 3 out of 7 of them. Yeah, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Vote for a strike are part of Unrivaled. That is Kelsey Plum. She's playing in
WNBA. What do you make of the idea of the conflict of interest between Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart and the interest of Unrivaled may not necessarily aligning with the interest of the W?
Well, Fee and Stewie are not only WNBA players. They are on the executive committee. So as is Kelsey Plum, she's playing in Unrivaled. 3 of the 7 people on that board who can now vote for a strike are part of Unrivaled.
Damn, basically half. Damn, okay, keep on.
That is not necessarily a bad thing. I think the thing about conflict of interest, though, is just the simple fact that you as a person have interests that conflict with one another. Yeah. The key thing is just keeping in mind that that is there. The facts of it are Fee and Stewie run this league that makes them money. There are players who played in the first season who have equity in the league who are able to make money off of this league, right?
Right.
And that's the thing, is just to keep it in mind that these are 2 different things. If we want to go all the way back, like players have been playing overseas the entirety of the WNBA. That is also a conflict of interest because, as we know, the schedules overlap. You have to make decisions, all of these kinds of things.
No. See, here you go, dancing. She's a dancing machine. Hey, dancing. She's a dancing. What are you talking about? Them playing overseas is also a conflict of interest. Don't try to make them 2 anywhere close to being the same thing. It's not a conflict of interest of them playing overseas because the WNBA ain't paying them broads no money because they ain't making no money to pay them, and they have to go over there. They say, so what? That's how much they cared about them players. Let me tell you something. That's how low they thought of your players. Y'all should understand that. If they thought you was a hot commodity, a top dog asset, oh, believe you me, they would have protected their asset. They wouldn't have let you go nowhere. It would have been in the contract. You listen, we allow others, right? We may allow others to go. You could be like, well, what about, we may allow, but you're so good. I can't risk you getting injured. So I'm going to need you. I'm going to pay you a little extra, on something. But they don't care about y'all enough. They say, y'all go over to go. Bye. Deanna Taurasi said, they don't give me $1 million to stay over here and play in the team. So I can't play in the WNBA. Is y'all going to match that? They say, no, we're not going to match it. Go ahead. Bye. Bye, DT. Face of the league. Bye, DT. So you going to come back? You want to come back or you don't want to come back? You want to live in China? Go live in China. They pay you $1 million. We not. Look, when China pay, so like it goes to what I'm saying. Because was it China? Let me know in the chat. Hold on, let me go to the chat real quick. Let me come to the chat. Did Diana Taurasi, was it the China league that paid Diana Taurasi $1 million? Which league was that? And because they told her she cannot play in the WNBA, though. Right? What league was that? Russia? It was a Russia league. So Russia, okay, thank you. So Russia said, we're going to pay you a milk ticket, but guess what? Because we want to protect our asset. If we're going to pay you, you can't go play nowhere else. We might let these other players on the team, they might can go play. A different WNBA player can come over here. We'll sign them. But they can go play back in the because we don't care. The only one we cared about is Deanna Taurasi. You, my friend, you can't go play in the W. We paying you this much money, you ours, right? So they never care. They never care. So she's trying to make it seem like that's even the same thing. But let's get back. Let's get back to it.
But to say that there's no conflict of interest is absolutely ridiculous because there is.
Yeah. Okay. Circle back. Circle back, babe. See, she keep doing 360. She gonna continue to do that. They both do. They gonna call it bad, and they gonna be like, but it's not a big deal. But it's terrible. But it's not a big deal. But it is terrible. But it's really not a big deal. That's what they're gonna do. But a shout out to them for at least bringing it up.
Of course there is. And look, we're all guilty of it. We can all say all the great things, right? Whether
is absolutely ridiculous because there is.
Of course there is. And look, we're all guilty of it. We can all say all day long that we're going to separate things.
Dancing. We're all guilty of it. Look. She don't want to ruffle too much feathers. She don't want to get fired around this motherfucker. She said, hold on. She ain't worried about, they're not worried about no motherfucking getting called racist. They worry about getting fired. They got like 16 people that commented on this. So they ain't worried about that. They worried about getting fired. We're all guilty of it. We all. All right, I'm gonna let her cut. But it's funny. I just want y'all to peep that how she quit. Of course, there's conflict of interest. That's terrible. But we're all guilty of it. We're all terrible.
Because as we know, the schedules overlap. You have to make decisions. All of these kinds of things. But to say that there's no conflict of interest is absolutely ridiculous. Because there is.
Yes, it is.
Of course there is.
Of course.
And look, we're all guilty of it. We can all say all day long that we're going to separate things, right? Whether it's in our everyday lives or in our work lives, whatever it might be, you can say that you'll take your personal interest out of something, but we're all human, right? Like these biases exist. You can't always totally and completely take maybe a personal interest out of something else. Is it a concern of yours, though?
It's always going to be a concern of mine, no matter what we're talking about. And I say this, like, obviously as a journalist, right? Like this is kind of the number one thing. I worked in small town newspapers for a while. I worked in the town that I grew up in. That's a conflict of interest. You just have to keep it in mind. No. Like I wrote about people I went to high school with, or like my English teacher, her kids were playing sports at the time and I covered them. Like you just have to keep that stuff in mind. So I always am concerned that it becomes a part of it. You know, I would hope when you're talking about Stewie and Fee that they understand that as well and can compartmentalize that just like athletes do for anything. But it is certainly a part of these talks and it cannot be overlooked because there's a million things you can run through your head, right? Like you had asked earlier, if there is no 2026 WNBA season, does Unrivaled decide like we're going to do a pop-up league somewhere? Do they extend their season? Do they start building out a second season? Like there are always a million different ideas that it does seem like the everyday fan is thinking about too, you know?
And to say for the record, and this is how I feel, I don't think that Breonna Stewart and Afisa Collier are actively trying to sabotage the WNBA.
No.
Like, they're not double agents that are in there pushing for a strike and pushing for the season to be canceled. Like, I think that is way too far and ridiculous. Like, let's not forget the WNBA still is the premier women's basketball league in this country and in the world, right? Like, Nafisa Collier, Breonna Stewart, and every player in Unrivaled are direct beneficiaries of that. So I don't.
Okay, see, this is where they do a lot of word salad. See how she capping, she dancing again. She dancing, but she's gonna go back to it's horrible. But before she go back to it's horrible, because right now I don't think they're trying to actively sabotage. No, again, they're all me. You know me. I go deeper than it's a conflict of interest. I go a little deeper than it's a conflict of interest. I look at the fact that the WNBA and the NBA owners, they know that too. They know just as well as we all know it's a conflict of interest. We all clear on that. And that they're a rival league, basically. They're definitely a rival league called Unrivaled to the WNBA. Because again, it could be simply something as a player might not want to travel and just be comfortable enough with staying in Miami, all just raising a family in Miami, playing and making money in Unrivaled if they pan enough. And again, if Caitlin was a part of this Unrivaled, it would be paying enough. But this is the kicker. The kicker is, so if the NBA owners and who own the WNBA are part of the WNBA and the WNBA owners, the other ones, the rest of them, they know that this is a conflict of interest, but yet they're allowing it. So you have to ask yourself, why are they allowing these people to be the ones to negotiate for their league? If they really wanted to keep their league open and going and capitalize on Caitlin Clark and that buzz, then they wouldn't allow it. It would be simply dismissed of them being able to represent the rest of the players in the league if you co-founders, and then even not only Kelsey Plum, because any of them, anybody who's in Unrivaled that's negotiating, they get equity of the league. So even if they're not the co-founder like Nefessa Coley and Breonna Stewart, Kelsey fucking Plum is making money on the back end besides whatever her contract is she got with him, but also getting equity in the league. So are they negotiating in good faith? Then you got a Wnba K who signed with another rival league. When y'all trying to pay these women over $1 million, and I'm sure you don't want them playing in no other leagues once you paying them a 7-figure deal like that. But it's funny that that's not even in they haven't even made that clear. Because if they made that clear, it would already be clear to everybody else that, yes, this is over with. See, if simple things happen, it's simple things. Y'all got to think about the simple things. If we're paying you $1 million, I don't want you to play in no other leagues. Simple as that. Russia was even, did that with Diana Taurasi. And Diana Taurasi understood it. She said, yeah, I'm getting a meal ticket. Sorry, WNBA. I can't play in your league no more. I'm over here for however many years they signed her for. So if that's the case, if you're going to be signing girls to multi years for $1 million a year, I don't want you playing nowhere else. If I'm going to be playing a bench player $250,000, what I was just giving max players, I don't want you playing nowhere else. Period. And why they not saying that? Because to me, that means they collude, and this is all part of the program. This was all the way they can get away from keeping this league around. Because I keep trying to say, well, yeah, why would the owners want to keep this league around just because of Caitlin Clark? Because you're still going to lose money. It's not smart business. We as fans want them to do it, of course. But you have to put yourselves in their shoes. You got to take your fandom out of it, put yourselves in the owner's position who's been forking out and losing money every year on this bum-ass league. And here comes one player, and she's the only one making things go, and nobody else is still. Even though she been around for 4 years, where I'm talking about to the on basically a global stage, basically. Because her junior year, her senior year, rookie year, and even last year, man, if you ain't capitalizing off of the movement, the wave that she has brought, if that didn't lift your boat, then shit. What are we doing? If you didn't capitalize off all the eyes that this girl brought, which is more than a lot of NBA franchises, even the Pacers, Caitlin Clark got more fans coming in than the Indiana Pacers do. And that's all over. That's probably, she got more fans coming to the games when she go to different states. The Dallas Mavericks, I went to that Dallas Mavericks game where Caitlin Clark, it was on the fence. It was the first time I think she was sitting out. Me and my son went to that game. That what is the Dallas Mavericks arena? 20-something thousand? What's the Dallas Mavericks arena? Let me see. How many seats is Dallas Mavericks arena?
The American Airlines Center, where the Dallas Mavericks play, has around 20,000 to 20,200 seats for basketball.
20 racks. And I promise you, every seat was filled up. Me and my son went there, man. And it ain't because of Paige, because Paige play in Dallas, and she has never been able to move a game to that arena. The Dallas Mavericks don't sell out that full big 20,000. They don't do it. So she bringing more eyes than what NBA franchises are bringing. When she come to your town or when you go to her town and you ain't capitalizing, nah, fuck this league. We cool. Yeah, Caitlin, you're going to have to go play for Unrivaled. We're going to build another league for y'all, and y'all start that out with Caitlin. And I'm telling y'all, this is why they've been hating her from the top down. Because I believe they're not this stupid. They can't be this stupid. I think the WNBA, NBA owners or something, they've had a conversation or two with this Nafessa Coley and a Breonna Stewart and probably a Wnba K, and told them what was bound to happen. Like, we've been losing too much money. Y'all need to start a new league and get this wave of Caitlin Clark coming in. Y'all start a new league, 3-on-3, get that popping. Caitlin Clark come in, y'all gonna make money, get everybody equity. That way everybody making money off of Caitlin Clark. That senior at Iowa, yeah, she gonna make everybody money. But we can't afford, but we can't do this no more. You understand? We can't do this. We got a new CBA coming up, and look, this is how it got to play out. Y'all got that new league going, and y'all ask for some shit that we just not gonna be able to do, and we gonna let the people know we end up going bankrupt, fucking around signing that type of deal y'all want, and y'all stand fast and acting like, yeah, we need that deal, and everybody stand packed and be unionized, because we finna go away, whether you like it or fucking not. So you better breathe through in the Fed. Y'all better try to get everybody you can signed up. All them new little players, Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo, and y'all better sign them up for a few years. Paige Buckers and Kiki Airfit. You better get them to get all of them. Yeah, because we done with you. After this, 2026, we do. We're not doing it. And they knew. And so Caitlin Clark don't do 3-on-3. Project B come about. Y'all better try. Y'all better hurry up and buy. You better hurry up and buy. You better try to get Caitlin. She said no to 3-on-3. They try to offer her $1 million plus with the equity, and they explained that how if we have equity with her being in the league, it would go crazy. She'd make a whole lot of money. Yada yada yada. She don't want to fuck with 3-on-3. Project B. Project B coming about. She said, no, I don't want to fuck with that neither. But I'm telling you, Caitlin threw a monkey wrench in their whole program when she turned down the Unrivaled deal. If Caitlin signed with Unrivaled, you wouldn't have heard of a Project B. There would have been no Project B. Unrivaled would have been the thing, and all the top WNBA players would have been playing for Unrivaled along with Caitlin Clark, and that league would have been the league. it would have been a Premier League in the United States of America. And the WNBA could have washed away and went bye-bye because nobody paid attention to it anyway. Nobody cared for it anyway. And the only reason why people was caring for it now is because of that one lady, Caitlin Clark, who will go watch play golf. So even if she played in the Unrivaled League, which I believe if she signed on senior year, when they approached her with this new league and she was like, yeah, buddy, I'm all in, let's do it. I think they wouldn't have gave her that type of schedule. You wouldn't have seen that type of defense. I think the players would have even treated her better because they know they headed to Unrivaled. And they know they need her to succeed. So they would have been, I think it would have been a different, not necessarily everybody, but I think it would have been a different type of feel. They wouldn't allow the referees to do her like that, all this type of shit, man. The coaches trying to restrain her back, her game. So she had it from every angle. She had not only every coach that she was playing against trying to full court press her and face go and do all this shit, right? Double teamer, blitzer. She had her own coach. And I want you to shoot those shots that you're great at shooting, especially in rhythm, and it brings the defense so far out. Oh no, I don't want. Yeah. So she got 2 coaches that told her, I don't want you to shoot those, trying to create doubt. Do any of y'all remember the Serena Williams interview when she was about 13, 12 years old, and her daddy had to get on the journalist or the interviewer because he kept asking her how is she so confident that she gonna beat her opponent who was a champion, and she only like 13 or 14, something like that at the time. And Mr. Williams, shout out to Mr. Williams, alpha male father. He stepped in and said, listen, you ain't gonna just keep on asking her that. Like that's how she already answered your question, nigga. She said she's confident. What the reporter, the journalist was trying to do was trying to break her confidence. What Christy Size and Stephanie White tried to do was break Caitlin's confidence of shooting, because when you start second guessing, that's enough to throw you off. When you're not sure of, like, should I take that or not? No, that's why, again, when I'm coaching, I tell my kids, you feel it, you deal it. Point blank, period. Let's bring it back. Hit the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Super chat is open. Donate to the channel. Let's go. It's the poll. Let's go.
I want to put my tinfoil hat on and say that Nafisa Collier is a double agent. She's going in trying to sabotage the W. But it is important to point out that at least some of those personal biases may exist as much as you try and bury them. Like you said, we do that all the time as people who cover sports.
Why are you trying to bury him? It is what it is. So I mean, now you don't need to bury him. Y'all should have been unburied that. Y'all should, and everybody else, everybody should have been screaming. Every reporter, especially journalists. Excuse me. I mean, isn't this a conflict of interest? I mean, you guys are negotiating, but you're the co-founder. That's the story you should want. And if you're the first one to be able to break it and get under their skin, a reporter want that. That's news. If everybody gets to talking and chattering about it, oh, they want that. Your boss want that. So for no reporter to ask that, even in live interviews, or just come out like how they doing on a podcast or something and say this very thing, but don't be dancing. They dancing. That's cool, but at least they said it. At least they said it, because you see how she said but right when it's not like they're double agents, but yeah. Go back to that. It's not like they're double agents, but
not forget the WNBA still is the premier women's basketball league in this country and in the world, right? Like Nafisa Collier, Brianna Stewart, and every player in Unrivaled are direct beneficiaries of that. So I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on and say that Nafisa Collier is a double agent and she's going in trying to sabotage the W. But it is important to point out that at least some of those personal biases may exist as much as you try and bury them. Like you said, we do that all the time as people who cover sports.
When Brianna Stewart, what did Kelsey Mitchell tweet? People tell you who they are, believe them. People show you who they are, believe them. What did Breonna Stewart say? I'm not focused on nothing but Unrivaled. Came out of her mouth. I'm focused on Unrivaled. So what makes you think you got to put a tinfoil hat on to call her a double agent? She goddamn sure is a double agent. It is what it is. You didn't do it, right? You're not making something up. She's a double agent. She's a co-founder of a rival league, and while they're negotiating, she talking about she not even worried about nothing. She focused on her league. Meanwhile, the rest of the players are left in limbo because 3 out of the 7 union reps are planning a league that's about to start. Meanwhile, talking about everybody, let's go on strike. And everybody's with going on strike. So something's fishy. Something should be fishy. If 97 or 98% of the league voted to go on strike, it's very fishy.
I think also what is more realistic, like, I agree with you. I don't think they're sabotaging talks if that's a conversation anyone's having. What I do think, though, is, and we've talked about this, prioritization. Like, that is something that for them, for players who play overseas, who want to continue playing overseas, for players in Athletes Unlimited, that is something that they are thinking very critically about because they want to continue to have Unrivaled and AU and go to their overseas clubs. So what does that look like? I think when you talk about those things, that's where a conflict of interest really comes into play.
I deposited $400,000 from my life insurance policy.
That's where conflict interest comes into play, huh? Yeah, it comes into play, period. I'll read some of these chats real quick. AB says if CC was in the Fessa or Stewie's position, we would never hear the end of her privilege. These bitches are a joke. That's very true. Very true. Brianna Stu, who? Shout out to Charles Davis. Charles Davis say, hey, cuz, happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to all. Definitely, man. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. They call it a tinfoil hat. We call it a thinking cap. Shout out to AB, yeah. Aaliyah Boston is news media, NBC. Yeah, conflict of interest. C-Mon, shout out to you too. Fee is bigger snake than Asia. I agree. They're both snakes, though. You know, true. So is Asia pregnant? Simone says yes. Asia Wilson is pregnated. Eric says Unrivaled isn't a real league. It holds zero long-term competition to something as large as a real 505 league. Listen, and that's what I'm like. Are they going to come to their senses? Because, of course, again, if something wasn't fishy, it's no way these girls would leave that money on the table and then try to. I can see if they had Caitlin Clark planning Unrivaled. I can see if they had Caitlin Clark planning Unrivaled. And you like, no, because you'll be buzzing. You'll really be booming if Caitlin Clark was playing. And you could try to push your weight around. Look, we buzzing over here now. You know what I mean? We really booming. But you don't. So you have to know it's going to fail. And it's just hard for me to believe that they don't know their league is going to fail. They can't be this dumb. Again, all these ladies in 4 years of college, man. 4 years of college, all of them. It's no way they could be this dumb, collectively this dumb too. Like, there's no way that they don't understand. Somebody ain't said, like, out of all 7 of them, somebody ain't said, listen, man, Caitlin Clark is it, man, okay? And we need to get on that wave because, look, she didn't want it failed. We failed in trying to get her. We didn't get her at Unrivaled. She won. But if we try to do this bullshit and go along with we can do it on our own, we can start this new league and it's going to be successful without Caitlin Clark, and then the league goes away. WNBA is no more Project B. Caitlin Clark is playing overseas or some shit. and then your league is going to shits immediately. Your league is going to shits, Unrivaled, immediately. That's why I will not watch one game. I will not give you one view from me. You're going to get a few already, but my one will not be. I will watch whoever report on it, so on and so forth, but I'm not interested in turning on not one game from you and watching, not at all. Not at all. Because that's what y'all want. Y'all want to try to see if y'all can spread your wings. But again, you're gonna fall on your face. You're gonna fall on your face. No Caitlin Clark, no Spark. That's just the nature of the. And again, I don't think y'all that stupid. I think y'all know that. Everybody else knows it. No fucking denying it. And they got numbers to prove it. It's like we can pull up a lot of the numbers that prove it. They got more numbers that we don't even got that proves it even further. Caitlin Clark, $500. This $500 to play Brazil. The $500 on average ticket price to get in the building just to play Brazil. Not even no WNBA team. That's how much, you understand? Sold out arena, and the ticket price was on average $500 to $600. Y'all ticket prices are literally 15, 10, 13, damn near at the most 19 on average to get in the game. And then there's no reason to pay for courtside seats. It's like just fill it in. Just come on down. Everybody come on down. You can pay for a nosebleed, but that's gonna be blocked off most likely. They're gonna block it out, block it off. You can be able to just come on down, sit anywhere. First come, first serve. You sit anywhere. Like Summer League in Vegas. You don't pay for seats. You just, when you get in there, you just, hey, find you a good, you better get there on time. That's what y'all are. Y'all, hey, get there on time. I can sit courtside. I can for $5. Meanwhile, Caitlin preseason against a team that we have no recollection of, no player on that team. And everybody watched on TV, and everybody went to the game that was in Iowa that could hold however much the building can hold. So y'all gotta understand, man. Y'all not that's big time. When you look at shit like that, you just gotta tip your hat. You just gotta tip your hat and say, yeah, she got it, bro. She got it. And you should want a piece of it. So, but you don't do it by trying to attack it. You try to attach yourself to it. You better try to get some of that. And it shouldn't even be in a fake way. That's the other thing. Like, literally, how is it it shouldn't even be in a fake way. You got it like that, right? You changing the game for the very sport y'all love to play. That you've been wanting people to have eyes on you and know who you are for the skill that you possess. And here she come bring that for you. She cool as a fan. She cooler than the other side of the pillow. She cooler than a polar bear's toenail. And y'all don't embrace that. You got problem with it. Like, no, that don't even sound right. I can see if she was a stuck up, snobby, thumb up her butt, right? Look at me, entitled, but really not like that, overhyped, overrated. If she was that, But when you see her dominating, you see her doing everything she does, how she goes about everything, and the buzz that she brings and the love that she brings to your sport, your game that has never been done. And you can't respect that. You don't, because real's supposed to recognize real. Iron's supposed to sharpen iron. You just was supposed to get better. You seen the shit she doing. You supposed to I gotta work on my shit. Because if you was under the impression that people just not interested in women's basketball, well, you was wrong. Caitlin Clark proved that to be wrong. No, you guys gotta be nice in basketball. It don't matter if you're a girl. If you don't like that, people will watch. So, and it ain't got nothing to do with the color of her skin. You could have put Kaylin in the Asian body. You could have put Kaylin in a Mexican's body. If she went about everything like Kaylin go about it and had the same game and everything, motherfuckers would have loved that. Motherfuckers would be arriba, arriba. We would have been speaking Espanol. We would have learned Spanish. If her name wasn't Caitlin, it was Catalina. Catalina Cortez. If she was that Catalina Cortez, we would have loved that CC. If she had that, if Catalina Cortez had greatness like that and acting, nigga, what? We would have loved Catalina Cortez. So, ain't got nothing to do with the color shit. Y'all bitches is crazy. Y'all crazy. Charles Davis, man, he says, I have to May and see the plan my schedule accordingly. Correct. Can the players have no confidence vote and get different reps? Listen, it seemed like the players is all unified. They all agreed to strike. It's supposedly 3 players that didn't agree to the strike, and I believe it was Lexi Brown and somebody else, I don't know. And I'm thinking Kaylin. But that's what I'm like. It's weird. It's weird because that's what they say, right? 3 players out of all the players in the league voted no to the strike. And 2 of the players, I think I didn't see it. See, so I don't like speaking on it. I don't really know. But let me know if y'all know in the chat. Who's the 2 players that allegedly said no that people supposedly did they come out and say there was ones that said no? Did Lexi Brown say she said no to the strike? Let me know. Shout out to Lester Bananas in the building. Let me see. Tell me in the chat. I'm looking for it. I'm looking. Several didn't vote also. Several didn't vote. Okay. Was that Lexi? Was that Sophie? What did Lexi and Sophie and Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, what did they vote? Because you would think anybody on the Indiana Fever would have voted no strike. Nigga, we on. We popping. You would think anybody on the Indiana Fever would have said no to the strike. Anybody that's been attached to Kaylin, especially her inner circle, you would have think Lexi Halls definitely is going to say no to the strike along with Caitlin Clark. And do we know that Caitlin Clark said no to the strike? We under the belief that Caitlin Clark said no to the strike. I believe she said no to the strike. I would guess Jackie Young. She is one of the best players and don't whine. Love Jackie Young. Lester says 3% of 154 is 4.62. So say 5 players. 156 players. Okay, y'all doing good math around here. That's what's up. Good math. Well, yeah, man. We'll see, man. 700 million they set to lose if that CBA gets signed. I doubt they want to lose that. So I doubt they're gonna go. It's only will the girls say, okay, we lost. We didn't get Kaylin to Unrivaled. We didn't get Kaylin to Project B. So we basically have no choice but to sign because our leagues from Project B or whatever else, the Unrivaled, it will go down fast if Kaylin Clark don't sign on. So I wonder, but it won't. I don't know. I don't think so. That's why I say I think it's. I don't know. It looked like it might be over for Caitlin Clark playing basketball in the United States of America. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going down because she gonna play for USA this year. But after that USA, where will Caitlin Clark play? Stay tuned because I'll be covering it. It's the Pope. Peace and love to y'all. I'm out. Happy New Year's. Enjoy.